Hello everyone, and welcome to a Brickformula review of LEGO set 6857, the Dynamic Duo Funhouse Escape. It has 380 pieces for ages 7 to 14, and is from the Superhero series, brought to you by the DC Universe, and this set retails for $39.99. And I would like to give a shout out to Ozzy134, the Taco Hippie, Brian Berenson, Mr. Lego Freak 10, Jaredman64, Lego Video Studio 345, and Lego Lloyd is Cool 1222, because they are the subscribers who had requested that I review this set. So everyone check out their channels. And moving forward, here in the front we can see that our heroes are a little bit outnumbered, and Robin is like, help me. And down here we have the minifigures. I'll have more on that later. And here in the back we see a lot of the play features here, and it looks like Batman is leaving because he's like, screw this, you're on your own. And clearly Robin is not too happy about that. But anyway, I'll talk about this set in more detail coming up. Here are the minifigures, and first up is Robin. And we'll look at him first because Batman always takes the spotlight. And here he is up close. I love it when he's in all red. It's a lot cooler than the green, yellow, and red one with the traffic light colors. And there's the back. And there's his face where he's not talking, no matter how much they beat him up once they have him hanging upside down. And there's his alternate face. Okay, I'll talk. Next is Batman in a dark blue and light gray color. And here he is up close. And judging by the torso, he is clearly a lot stronger than Robin. And here's a comparison. And it looks like Robin's got a long way to go. And he's got 2 batarangs this time around, which is pretty cool. And there's his face where he's not too happy about rescuing Robin again. That's why I prefer to work alone. And he's got an alternate face where he's like, I'm Batman and I approve of this message. And he's got some details there in the back. And there we go. Now to check out the all-new Riddler, and here he is, and he's pretty similar to the old one, and he's pretty buffed for a puzzle guy. I love the bowler hat, and you get another one too, which you'll see later on. And here's a close look at his face, and that looks like a forced smile. It's as if he's trying to hold in the itchy feeling that he has near the lower question mark. And he comes with a crowbar, which I'm guessing is supposed to be his question mark cane, because you can see some kind of resemblance, even though it's red. And there's the back. Up next is the new Harley Quinn, who looks really similar to the older version. There's very slight differences, and there's her face where it looks like she has an attitude, and there's the back, and she has an alternate face where it looks like she's smiling as if she wants a favor. And finally we'll take a look at the Joker, and here he is. He looks different than the previous version, which I actually have, so here's a comparison. And it looks like the details got better. He actually has a flower on the jacket this time around instead of that yellow cotton ball. And there's a close look at his face. I like how they made his teeth in a beige color, so it looks like he drinks a lot of coffee. And there's the back, and he has an alternate face where he has a really sinister looking smile. And there we go. Before we check out the funhouse, I figured it would be nice to look at the Batcycle first, and here we are. Here's a view from the side, and for the most part it's a pretty simple design. I do love the way they made the back though, because it looks really cool from this angle. And these fins can be adjusted downward just like that, which looks just as awesome. You can also raise it higher if you like, although I think if you do that it looks like it needs a tune-up. And here's a view from the front, and the front is really plain and simple. And they have a sticker right there. And in a way I feel like they spend most of the efforts on the back here, especially when you compare it to the Batcycle from the Batcave, which is right here. And here's a comparison. They have the same length and the same width. And for this one, I feel like they spent their efforts on the front and the sides there. So naturally I figured, why not combine the best of both worlds? And here's what I ended up with. It looks pretty good, right? Although I still wish they gave me a bat pod instead. But anyway, to wrap things up with the Batcycle, here's how you put Batman into the seat. Just make sure his cape goes over the chair, and then you can clip in his hands to the handlebar. And there we go. And then once you do that, just make sure his cape is okay. This way you don't end up permanently folding it. And there we go. Not too bad. And now we can let the fun and games begin. And first we'll take a look at the wagon rail, because usually the rail is out of my camera frame. So we'll start here first before moving in for the close-up. And basically here it is. And we have this cute little wagon which has the color theme of Harley Quinn. And here it is all around. And here's the bottom where we got white wheels. And we'll have Harley sit here in the middle. And her hands won't reach the handlebars in the front, which is okay because this is a kiddie ride compared to some of the other stuff I've been on. And then from here we can have the wagon sit on this plate here, and the wheels won't touch the rail, so you won't have to worry about this thing going down on its own. And then from there, she'll go crashing through the gate right there, and she'll split Joker's face in half, which I bet she's been dying to do for his lack of affection. And back here we have this little stick here, which you can push real hard and ram Harley Quinn from behind, which sounds pretty bad, but anyway, here we go. And she'll usually end up stopping right there. And now we can check out the first floor. And I removed the railing, this way it's a little easier to see at a close-up. And for the most part, the first floor is made mostly of pillars, and it's pretty hollow inside, except for this part right here, where we got a booth with the Riddler's head inside. And as you can see, we get another bullet hat and another minifigure head, which is pretty cool. And this is where you make up your own riddle me jokes and knock yourself out. The next thing you'll probably notice is that we do have quite a few stickers here. The Joker's face here is also a sticker as well. And yes, I know mine is starting to peel. And that's really not my fault, because when I opened the box, my sticker sheet was already rolled up like an egg roll, which I recommend you exchange your set if that happens to you, because it's pretty obvious with the bigger stickers. Take for example this watch out sticker. Now you can watch it peel, see? So that kind of sucks, especially since I spent so much effort to get it all centered and even. So, oh well. Anyway, let's take a look at it all around. Here's a view of the side. And there's the view of the back, and you'll notice that we have quite a few green knobs here, and that's what pretty much controls most of the functions here. This one controls the hammer, and this one is for the moving floor, and I'll have more on that later. Taking a look at this side, you'll notice that with this green knob here, which is actually a stick that you pull out, and that will release the trap floor. So now we'll have a quick demonstration, and right there it says danger ahead, and you have an arrow pointing downward, which I think it should have said danger below, but then again, I don't really see the point of warning somebody when you had intended to screw them over in the first place. But anyway, we'll take Batman for example, and we'll have him stand right here. He really should know better, but let's just say he's having just one of those days. And there we go! Batman go down the hole. Next we'll take a look at the crane, which is a pretty interesting play feature. And right now I have the cable fully extended, and that's as far down as it goes. And basically the way this works is you turn this knob here, and it will raise and lower the cable. And you can raise it about this high, and you can beat up Robin like a punching bag. And if you want, you can always slide open the second floor railing and beat him up here, which is probably a little bit more effective. So poor Robin. It's a good thing his costume's in red, this way it matches the blood. Anyway, if you look on the other side of the crane, you'll notice that we have a gear and a locking mechanism, which is pretty interesting too. It's like a secondary play feature to the crane. And basically you would throw your batarang here, and it will knock this into position, and that will stop the cable from coming down. So why would you do that? Well, this is so that Robin won't fall into this purple barrel of death here, which if you look inside, we have a fish and 2 cans of beer, which actually doesn't sound too bad. I think if they filled up with pee and poo, it would be a little bit more threatening. Assuming Batman survives everything, and I'm pretty sure he will at some point end up at the moving floor section, which is right here, and you'll get a better view once I take away the railing. And there it is. We have 2 studs where you can attach a minifigure to, and we'll attach Batman just for the fun of it. And there we go. And you can control this from the back, as you saw earlier. And you have to do this vigorously just to get him off of there. And there we go. And if that's not enough, you can always bring down the sign on him, which is only attached by 2 studs there, and that should finish him off. Finally, we have now made our way to the hammer. And to get set up, you should bring the hammer up to here. And over here we have a brown stud. And assuming Batman is not watching where he's going, he'll eventually step on something that's round and brown. He really should be careful, because next time he might not be so lucky. Anyway, and then from there, you can swing the hammer, and there we go. Batman's gone. It's not as effective if you attach Batman to, say for example, the 2 studs right before it. And there we go. You're gonna have to really give him a beating just to get him off. And there we go. And now we can move on to the comic book. And here is the comic adventure, and this is issue number 1. And like usual, we have the Catwoman skin in the beginning, followed by the minifigures. And here's where our story begins. It looks like our villains are up to no good, taking care of loose ends. And here comes Batman to the rescue, and with one throw of the batarang, he does quite a bit of damage. And he knocks that barrel into Riddler, and hits him right in between the legs. That looks like it hurts. Love that expression. I don't think he's going to be walking for a while after that. And here comes Robin, taking care of the hammer, and then he falls down through the trap floor. And then our villains get away, but I guess it's alright because our heroes are safe and sound, so we have a happy ending. And there we go. And now we can move on to the recommendations. Overall, I say this is a really good set, and I definitely recommend getting it. When it comes to the value, we have a price per piece ratio of 10.5 cents a piece, and we're getting about $34 to $57 worth of parts here, not including the minifigures. Batman just by himself is worth about 9. Harley Quinn and Robin is worth about 11. Joker is about 12, and the Riddler just by himself is about 13 bucks. So clearly, the value is really good with this set, especially since it retails for $40. And when it comes to the play value, I say it's really good too because we do have a lot of play features that you saw earlier. We have the crane, the trap floor, the moving floor, the hammer, the wagon rail, Riddler's booth, and the bat cycle. And plus, it's really refreshing to have a place where the villains can actually do some damage. Because for a while now, Batman's the one that's getting spoiled. He has the Batcave, he has a car, the Batwing, and 2 motorcycles. So this really completes the villains right here. And you'll definitely have a lot of fun with this set, and definitely a worthwhile one to get. And that sums up my review. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.